Welcome to Baltimore Recreation Center. This is game number 2 of these semifinals between the Six Nation Chiefs and the ViewTech Cobourg Kodiaks. A look at your starting goaltender for the Kodiaks, Steve Orleman, playing in game number 3 this season. Just 9 goals against average in his one start. 13 goals against, in for 9 goals against in game number 1. 13 goals against in his one start of the season. Doug Jamieson, a 4-1 record through his 6 games, but 9 goals against versus Coburg on July 25th. The Albany Firewolf goaltender will get the start tonight, as it was Warren Hill in net for the Chiefs last night. The JVI Sports Network presents Coburg ViewTech Kodiaks Playoff Lacrosse. Here on YouTube, I'm Matthew Carrick alongside our crew, and we're happy to have you aboard as well. Coburg on the home bench, going right to left in their purple uniforms with white lettering. And Lyle Thompson, the league MVP, will bring it down and get the first possession here for Six Nations. Thompson stopping at the restraining line. Austin Stotts near side. He'll elect to go over to the far side first for Ty Logan. Here's Stotts, who's coming off a 7-goal game in game number 1. Brendan Bomberry bringing it back to the near side. This will be Eric Fennell, former Cobourg Kodiak himself. Stotts may have ran through the crease, then gets run over. Kyle Cropman with the call there. Him, Mark Thompson, and Josh Hiltz, the 3 officials. Stotts getting started again. Brother Randy not in the lineup tonight, one of 3 lineup changes. Stotts to the crease, the shot and the save from Orleman. Rebound though picked back up. Another shot right in front on Ben McIntosh. Orleman will make that save too. Picked up by Rowan Kelly. Down the near boards, Kelly. Sending it up top to Aaron Woods. Only 2 changes on the side of Coburg. No Austin and Murphy tonight. No Blair Newborough either. This one's going to bounce all the way back. It hit off a defender, so no over and back. But the shot clock down to only 3 seconds. So it'll be launched down floor by Aaron Woods. Again, those Six Nations changes. Randy Stotts, Doug Jamieson, and Tyson Bell all out of the lineup. Eric Fennell, Sam Leclerc, Kellen Leclerc jumping in. We already talked about the starting goaltender situation. In comes Logan again. That shot bounces off of Orleman. And right there to pick up is Hunter Agus. Directing traffic, wants a screen in front. Obliging is Bo Columbus. And now Columbus staying out there as long way from their home bench. Kodiaks change it up. Marshall Palace to the far boards. Bringing it back. Big head fake from Cole Hanrahan. Now the shot comes, and Jamieson down low. Rebound never got out of the crease. For Coburg, meanwhile, again, Darren Newborough, Austin Murphy, Liam Patton draw out. Aaron Bradshaw wearing 18. Taylor Dooley and number 2 are in for Coburg. Curtis Romanchuk, one of the goal scorers in game number 1. He'll feed up to Aaron Woods, who stops just outside of the fan. Couldn't work around a screen that was in front of him. Now going to the far corner. Back over the top. This one, Hanrahan. No shot. Hanrahan will rip. Past the high defender, and it was well wide off the end boards. You might look at the 15-3 score line from game number 1 and make your decisions about this game, but remind you it was a lot closer the last time these 2 teams played each other. Lyle Thompson stumbles in the corner. Gets knocked off the ball now, and the chase is on. Thompson had it in his stick, and then it got knocked back over the restraining line, perhaps unintentionally on purpose, to give his Chiefs a chance to change up with Hunter Agus in tow. Back on July 30th, it was still a Six Nations win, 13-11, however, here in Coburg. Big shot there, Carson Moyer. May have slipped trying to release that, didn't get a lot of it, never got on net. Brian Cole now, long shot that Orleman will handle. Big collision near side, and it is a hot and humid night here in Baltimore. Baltimore, Ontario, that is. So we'll keep an eye on floor conditions. There's a severe weather watch in effect outside as well, as the shot clock running out for Coburg again. And Aaron Woods, another long shot, and Jamison nonchalantly standing his ground in between the pipes. 4 minutes gone in this first period, scheduled for 3:20s. Here in Major Series, as Austin Stotts will pass the ball. Stotts goes back to work on his defender on the near side. Wide open rip there for Shane Jackson. His sidearm goes off of Orleman into the corner, but it's Stotts to recover. And the quick passing, getting it to Fennell, and now Kelly working over Stotts. He'll shovel it back up top, and that's a moving screen called against Ben McIntosh. Ethan Riggs to get it back over at center now to Tanner Buck. Buck, who in that July 30th game had a goal and 6 assists. So in the absence of Rookie of the Year David Anderson, still in this game. Did not play last night either. Going to rely on players like him and Tyler Hendricks, who had a hat trick in that final meeting of the regular season. Good pace so far. Larson Sundown, high stepping outside the fan. He'll find the trailer in the long shot there from McIntosh, handled by Orleman, and perhaps some transition here for the Kodiaks. Hunter Agus saw a lane that closed quickly, and Romanchuk will await the rest of the offense. Taking some time to get there, though. Shot clock down to 10. And there's Aaron Bradshaw, again, the Game 2 addition to the lineup. Long outside shot. Second one, also wide. Tanner Buck went to the left and the right of Jamison. Trying to beat the 30 count on that one. Brooklyn and Peterborough kicking off their series tonight as well. Already an early 1-0 lead for Burlington. Luke Pilcher getting them on the board. Rest of the way, these two series will basically mirror each other. We'll be back here on Tuesday night for game number 4. Stotts from long range, the low shot handled by Orleman. Wasn't sure where the rebound was. It bounces all the way back outside the restraining line for a fresh 30 here for Six Nations. Sundown crashes in. Ball to the far side, Jeremy Thompson. Pardon me, that's Brendan Bomberry as the shot finally does come, and Bomberry gets the restart as it went up out of play. Couple players changing now with Shane Jackson and Lyle Thompson joining the fray. Be kept on the near side with Fennell. He stops short of the crease, turns back, no shot. Back looking for Bomberry in the corner. Bomberry brings it down, but there's 10 on the shot clock. Jackson has to spin back. He's pushed out wide by Taylor Dooley, and now under 5 to go. They're going to double team the ball over in front of that Coburg bench, and that'll do it for the shot clock as Coburg gets the reset. 7 minutes. Basically dead ball free here so far in game number 2. Marshall Pallas. Big high step. Pallas will cut back. Basically all alone. Now he'll get a screen from Tyler Hendricks to shot from Pallas. Down low there on Jamison, who covers up over the top. How about the 1-2 punch of Jamison and Warren Hill? Goodness. Orleman stands his ground there as the pass from Stotts goes wide. He's about to lose his kidney pads. They're dangling off the back. Some of the Northumberland minor players viewing the hilarity of it all. Errant pass there from Coburg goes straight to perhaps the worst person who can grab it, Lyle Thompson. Curtis Conley trying to give chase. Give and go, Thompson to the net. And the save there by Orleman. Grabs it in the stick and controls the rebound as well. And now it's brought up by Coburg. Rowan Kelly there to bring it down. ViewTech helping us bring these broadcasts of Cobourg Kodiaks playoff lacrosse to you. Under 5 in the shot clock and one hand on the stick looking for the holding call is Carson Moyer, and he is going to get it. First power play opportunity of the game going to Coburg, and Doug Jamieson will call for the water break. Look at the holding call here. Moyer wanted to get the shot stick back in the left hand so he could let one fly, and it goes for a holding call and the first penalty of the game. Northumberland Minor Lacrosse trying to support this power play unit. Doug Jamieson, Steve Orleman continue their water break. Marshall Palace will start with it up top. Far side looks like Tyler Hendricks. And Tanner Buck down on the crease. Near side Cole Hanrahan, Aaron Woods. Pass did get to Woods, but it was low. Out of the stick there of Hendricks, and a 2-on-1 led by Brian Cole. His shot just wide of the outstretched glove of Orleman. Goes off the end boards. Gives a young fan in the snack bar a good view. Palace has it again. He'll take quarterback here on the power play. Fakes behind the back. Fakes the shot. Takes it. Jamieson with the save. Rebound comes back to Brad Cree. Going to jog it up and over center. Cree will wait it out and flip to Larson Sundown. Even the relative newcomers and youngsters on this Six Nations Chiefs team seem like they've been playing for a long time. On the crease, Ben McIntosh, another one of those veteran players, who's going to go back and try and track down this loose ball. McIntosh gets it all the way up to Eric Fennell. And Lyle Thompson will now slow it down. He's counting. He wants one more off the bench, but they are shorthanded with 39 seconds left. Fennell has it near side. Under 10 to go in the shot clock. Fennell shoots past the screen of Thompson, and Orleman saw it the entire way, and he'll hang on. Jonah Bohm to Marshall Palace now. Possibly the final possession here, the first power play of the game for either side. Palace flips behind his back. It's Hendricks. Shot and a goal. Up top, Hendricks working with Palace. And the ViewTech Cobourg Kodiaks have the lead. This was all Hendricks and Palace pretty much the entire set. And the big rip from up top, Tyler Hendricks. 1 for 1 on the power play, 1-0 on the scoreboard. The cheering section loves it. Again, Hendricks had the hat trick on July 30th in that 13-11 Six Nations game. No David Anderson tonight, as was the case yesterday. Rookie of the year in the league this season. They'll need Hendricks here tonight, already with one. There's Taylor Dooley, caused turnover. Dooley will wait for the offense as we're past the halfway mark of this first period. 1-0 for the home side. Aaron Woods picked up an assist on that power play goal. Palace waiting for a return pass there, but the ball carrier fell. Palace gets it back. Under 5 of the shot clock. Long shot from Hanrahan. Goes off the end boards and the back of the net, and then the shot clock sounds to give it back Six Nations way. And already looks like Ethan Riggs hobbling off the bench on his way back to the dressing room as Orleman makes the save and a shot. Hard to see from this angle if that's the 10 of Riggs or the 18 of Aaron Bradshaw, but already Running a man short is this Coburg bench with a suspension to Austin Murphy after game one last night. Ball to the far side. Tanner Buck will bring it down. Shot goes wide of the mark. Jeremy Thompson there. The traditional wooden stick to set it up to Kevin Hill in transition. His shot off of Orleman. And now Jackson gets the rebound, and Six Nations will slow it down and get their entire offense out there. Jackson fakes, goes down, and goes down hard. We'll see if he stays down. There's a penalty up top. It'll be a trip, and Jackson did go down rather awkwardly, so good to see him get up, and now the defense chance comes out for the penalty kill unit as Taylor Dooley will go sit for 2 or less for tripping. And Orleman takes a chance to grab a drink. At the PMC, the Lakers lead 2-1. 1-0 here. ViewTech Cobourg Kodiaks on top of the Six Nations Chiefs. Trying to even this series. Game number 1 at the PMC tonight. Peterborough Lakers on an incredible run of 3 straight national titles. Looking to go back to the Mann Cup in BC this year. Under 8 to go in period number 1 here in Baltimore. Orleman nods that he's good. And we are back underway with Lyle Thompson quarterbacking this power play. Stotts looking shot, not taking it. Him and Thompson, and they ring it off the backside. I believe that's Holden Lowe's holding station in front of the net. And turned over, clean break. Stotts off the pipe. Jackson with the rebound, though, to Stotts' second chance. How many moves around the world the shot, and Stotts goes down, slips, and is very slow to get up. Back the other way, Carson Moyer passes to a trailer, low shot, and Jamison, as that ball bounced in the crease, Stotts never got off the floor, so he's back and fires. Finds the bar again. A night after he put 7 in. The Irons got a 2 count tonight. Behind the back, Thompson will try his shot from the other side. And again, same result with Orleman making the save. Bo Columbus up to Connolly. Try to work the transition game with Jonah Boehm slowing it down. 35 seconds left here in Six Nations power play, by the way. Stotts gets to the bench and hangs a right as he's going to catch a breather off the bench. Late in the shot clock. Low chance to beat it, and the shot gets caught up in the feet of Kyle Rubish. So here's Thompson back the other way. Final shot at the power play. Only 12 seconds left in it. Jackson for Fennell. They keep it high with Thompson. Behind the back, Fennell. Quick stick to the crease. And they say no shot. Sam LeClaire was making a case that he had touched Orleman, but Dooley clears the penalty box, and we're back to even strength. Under 6 to play, 1-0 for Coburg right now. They scored on their only power play chance. It's Tyler Hendricks. Now looking for more is a shot from Hanrahan. Gonna bounce out and over center in the stick here of the trailer, Logan. And Ty Logan with 3 assists in last night's game, looking for a goal here. Denied by Orleman. Lowe's to Powless. Couple big high sticks from Carson Moyer working out of the corner. He goes back to Powless, who's going to roll it up top. And the bench saying that Jeremy Thompson interfered with, that's Conley. Now the shot comes off Orleman and all the way back in front of the Coburg bench. Bo Columbus takes the clock under 5 minutes to go here in the first. Down in the corner now, Tanner Buck. Eluding the high screen was Kellen Leclerc. Now Kellen Leclerc got picked out of the way in front of the Six Nations bench. They wanted a call. Josh Hiltz not going to oblige, but not going to matter with Larson Sundown bringing it back the other way. Sundown gets a screen in front. It's Jackson, low shot, and Orland makes the save and gets up. And he's got Rowan Kelly headed out and down the floor, but Lyle Thompson and Larson Sundown were both there to match him stride for stride and take the transition opportunity away. Woods. Back to Hanrahan. Woods gets it again. Hanrahan sets the screen. Woods wheeling over the top. 5 on the shot clock. Woods all the way in before he's finally knocked down by Brad Cree, forcing the shot high and wide. Austin Stotts back out there. First time we've seen him since he went down awkwardly. Looks to be all right. Going to take all the Budweiser Clydesdales to get him out of the game. He'll be the lone defender back at a 2-on-1 transition break. It's Hunter Agus. Shot bounced off a body. Kurtis Romanchuk looking for it, and there are all kinds of Kodiaks out on the floor right now, and there he get called for too many men. Our first wipe down of the game. Comes with 3 minutes and 17 seconds to go in our first period. And the Chiefs headed back to the power play. Did not score on their first opportunity, despite the best efforts of Austin Stotts, who had 2, if not 3, uncontested chances. Here's a look at the man who outscored the entire Coburg team twice over and then won last night. 7 goals for number 43 when he decides he's going to take over a game. He's been doing it his entire career. Doesn't matter what surface he's playing on and what age level. If he says he's going to take over, he's going to take over. So far, Orleman has gotten the better of him, however, as there's another one turned away by the glove. Conley with 3 to go. We'll pass the ball here to Aaron Woods. He's going to direct traffic, a bit of a head nod there, looking for Tyler Hendricks. Lone goal scorer so far. Hendricks on the power play. Getting it back here for Woods. Pardon me, that was Hanrahan. That bounced the shot wide, and shot clock violation or over and back, take your pick. Either way, Six Nations ball with 1:10 to go in their power play. Jackson and Thompson keeping it high. Now they get Sundown involved. Thompson to the crease. They go quick stick again. Looking for the same play to Sam Leclerc. And Orleman was all over it. Here's Conley. They'll slow it down back the other way. Less than a minute to go on this power play. Closing in on the 2-minute warning here in the first period, of which the Kodiaks lead 1-0. Remember, it was 2-0, although for the Chiefs yesterday before the big second period explosion. Here's Hendricks. That shot goes wide as he was walking in on Jamison. 30 seconds to go here in the man advantage. Hidden ball play. Coburg was all over it, so Stotts and Thompson play catch. Trying to open that shot, it looks like, for Stotts. Double team all over Thompson. Stotts, they go quick stick. Return it back near side this time. And nothing Orleman can do there with Shane Jackson on the doorstep. Follow the bouncing ball here if you can. Jackson not even in our frame. And it looked like the 4 box defenders not necessarily forgot about him, but just Six Nations created way too much floor space for all 4 to cover. And Jackson, the beneficiary, scoring on the doorstep to even up this first period. Stotts and McIntosh picking up the assists on the Shane Jackson power play goal that makes it 1-1. Coming into the final minute of play here. Teams will have 2 timeouts they can use at any point, but only 1 per period as we get down to the wire here in the first. Fennell with Stotts trying to make space in front of him. Fennell cuts back the other way, gives the ball to Stotts, and we get a moving screen call as Riggs was knocked down in through the middle. Marshall Palace. Under 45 seconds to go in the period. Big slip there from Lyle Thompson. Looking for the cutting Hendricks. Chiefs will get the ball here with 37 seconds. The count was already on. Brad Cree will clear center, but they can't take the entire period down and cannot use their timeout. Here's Jackson to the far side. Big collision now, turning back is Bomberry. Shane Jackson trying to feed Larson Sundown, who couldn't cut through, and then Bomberry turned as if to fire and got all of Jonah Bohm instead. No timeout here for Coburg as they run it up. And not much doing there on that final possession, but tight first period yesterday, 2-0 for Six Nations tonight. Same story as Coburg led most of the way through that first. They'll take an even 1-1 score into the locker rooms, and we'll take a 10-minute timeout. The JVI Sports Network is presenting ViewTech Cobourg Kodiaks Playoff Lacrosse. We'll be back in 10 minutes. Welcome back to Baltimore Recreation Complex. 1-1 after the first period, and here's how we got there. On the power play, Tyler Hendricks with a big rip. He of the 3 assists in game number 1, and then how about this passing play on the power play of the Chiefs as we are 1-1 tied after the first period. We do understand that the internet signal here in the building may be giving us some issues, so if you're tuning in live, game will be loaded at a later date in its entirety. And we do ask for your patience here this evening, but we'll keep going until the final buzzer sounds here in game number 2 of this series. Six Nations leading 1-0. It will then flip back to the ILA on Sunday night. That's a 7 p.m. start. Our crew will be back here on Tuesday for an 8 p.m. start time, game number 4. And if required, game number 5 will be at the ILA Thursday, August the 10th, 8 p.m. as well. Those are the times and dates except for game number 2, Friday in Whitby, for the other series between Peterborough and Brooklyn, who the Lakers, by the way, lead 6-2 in game number 1 of their series ongoing tonight. Coburg, meanwhile, to start this second period, they'll get the ball as they go left to right here in this middle frame. Brought down by Carson Moyer. He works it around with Aaron Woods. A shot there. Jamison makes the save. Was not busy at all in that first period. To show you how good Orleman was, shots showing 23-7 in favor of Six Nations, despite the fact that the score is tied 1-1. Couple saves for Jamison as they try and make up the difference. Kevin Hill will cross center. First minute all basically in Chiefs territory. Can confirm Aaron Bradshaw hobbling back to the bench, as we saw Ethan Riggs out there in uniform as well. McIntosh to Jackson on the crease, and Orleman stands his ground. That ball hits him in stride, and then Lyle Thompson right underneath the bouncing rebound. Second period was the big one for Six Nations yesterday. They won it 10-1 on home floor. Lyle Thompson cuts in, trying to do the same thing here tonight, and pops it off the post. That's 4 helpers from Orleman's best friends tonight. Cutting through is LeClaire. And Sam LeClaire has been trying as hard as he can to get a goal. A couple quick stick opportunities. Austin Stotts collides with a man over on the far boards in the corner, and they call Stotts for the interference. Hunter Agus, east-west, crossing center. Stick got knocked out of the hands of Cole Hanrahan. And here comes Brad Cree in transition. Sidearm, and Orleman there to make the save. Man, Cree's been doing that for quite a while. Big high step from Hendricks. Lone goal scorer, as we told you, for the Viewtech Cobourg Kodiaks. Here's Woods. Aaron Woods back to the near side. High step now from Marshall. Powless spins back around. Lost the ball in the process. And on the crease. And then in the crease was Carson Moyer. Logan jogs it across center. Fennell. Long pass to Bomberry. Near boards. And Chiefs spreading the floor again. Shane Jackson's shot off the end boards. Bomberry gets back to the restraining line in time. Ben McIntosh over the top. Larson, sundown, big shot, and it was blocked. And now the double team of Riggs and Rowan Kelly go after McIntosh, forcing the shot clock violation. Owen down. Starting the counterattack. Here's Hendricks. Has a cutter through the middle. Got drilled. Did Aaron Woods. And now Hendricks going to go to the crease. And momentum took him through that cylinder. Again, summer ball rules here. Jeremy Thompson into the corner for Austin Stotts. Thompson using the plastic-headed stick this time. Cree Fennell. Sundown off the bench. He'll give to Lyle Thompson. Thompson around his screen on the run. The shot wide. Bounces straight back to him, though. Got the reset on the shot clock. Austin Stotts. Looking here for LeClaire. And LeClaire taking it out of the corner. Did keep his feet clear of the crease. And now the shot from Stotts, who continues to work to the cage, but they're just not falling like they were 24 hours ago. Jonah Bohm. Big reason for that is big number 1 in between the pipes and the lead. Back to the Kodiaks, it's Carson Moyer. Credit Orleman indeed, because that save at the other end leads to this. Basically ISO play from Moyer, and I think that hits the stick of Tim Edwards in the middle of that set. Northumberland nemesis fired up because their boys are on top. 2-1. How about Orleman and Riggs picking up assists? On the goal from Moyer, him and Hendricks have the Kodiaks up 2-1. Logan across center to Fennell. Nearly intercepted as Holden Lowe's was launching at it. Here's Stotts. Slide over from Taylor. Dooley stopped him from going to the crease. Turns back, cuts the defense, and scores, and may be hurt. It was just a matter of time for Austin Stotts. But as he's going to cut through the defense and kept his feet clear, Stotts will score to retie this game. Goaltenders will take a chance to get a drink. Stotts taking a bit of a walk over on the bench. Six goals and 8 points last night. You go back, 7 goals and an assist last night for 8 points. Stotts, last time he scored a sock trick was against Coburg, if you can believe it, 1 year from today, August 3rd of last year. Had 6 goals and 8 points. That was his last sock trick before 7 last night. So 364 days between MSL sock tricks for number 83, and they try and keep it running with Tim Edwards off the face-off. McIntosh and Fennell on the assist. A few mock woos after the goal announcement. Over the top, Hendricks. To the far side for Aaron Woods. That's Cole Canrahan, who now passes it back into the pile. Tanner Buck stopped the over and back and then had to rush the shot. Second one won't get there before the over and back. Finish the note on Stotts. That's 12 goals and 5 assists for 17 points in 4 games versus Coburg this season. Shane Jackson trying to lead a cutter. Bounced off the stick of a defender. Perhaps Ethan Riggs, who was knocked down. So go up to Bohm. Jonah Bohm, Carson Moyer, most recent goal scorer for the Kodiaks. Pick and roll. Shot low from Paulus. Recovered possession, however, from Woods. Woods will get it back near side. Moyer has Powless. Waiting for the screen. Going to send it far side there for Hanrahan. Low shot, and Jamison with the clean catch. Looking to lead Tim Edwards. Lyle Thompson, the trailer. They have help coming out the front door. Goes to the MVP, and the shot saved by Orleman. Thompson falling to a knee. He eludes Taylor Dooley. Although only momentarily, will now bounce it back up top for Larson Sundown. Sundown and Thompson playing catch. Finally, Shane Jackson with it out of the corner. Big screen there from Fennell. Thompson cutting through, got a piece of Orleman, and rebound comes to the near boards. Knocked away by Sundown, but right into the stick of Curtis Romanchuk, who scored one of the three last night in transition. Brought down here by Hendricks. Faking low, shooting high was Hanrahan. That one off a body and brought up to center by Kyle Rubish. Trying to see if Carson Moyer was going to get there, was on his horse. Stotts back out there. Oh! The little backhand shovel past two defenders for Stotts, who's trying all the tricks. Tanner Buck on the run, twist shot. Some slide through the crease afterwards. See if they call for a wipe down. But Brad Cree will run it back the other way. Jamison is checking the crease. As now to be put to the outside. Bomberry. Jackson. Shane Jackson's shot misses everything before going up and into the safety net. Quick restart here for Hunter Agus and the Kodiaks. Agus scores! I don't know if we're going to get the initial shot on our replay, but Agus is going to make it 3-2. And watch Agus take off here. This is all before the whistle. Mark Thompson gets out of the way just in time, and Agus will get himself behind the defender to take the shot. And looks like Jamison is having a bit of trouble with the screen shots here tonight. We'll see if Six Nations, or Coburg rather, pick up on that on their bench. That's the third different stick I've seen Jeremy Thompson use here this evening. It wins the Chiefs a face-off, and when Moyer took the goal to put the Kodiaks up, it was a quick response from the Chiefs. We'll see if they do it again. They try the quick stick to Fennell on the crease. Bounced it wide, so the shot clock continues to tick down to 6 seconds here for Lyle Thompson. His shot also bounces wide. And McIntosh is going to leave it at the feet of Owen Down. 9 minutes gone here in the second period. Just starting the second. About 30 kilometers, 40 or so north of here in Peterborough. Shot there from Jamison. That gets caught up in his leg pad. Peterborough continues to lead 6-2. 3-2 here for the ViewTech Cobourg Kodiaks. Trying to even this semifinal series. Bomberry in front. Stotts twists the shot to try and beat Orleman, and he has been equal to pretty much everything that Stotts can throw at him here tonight. Hendricks to the far side. Moyer plays it back for Powless. Moyer on his way to the crease and through the crease. Gives it back to Six Nations. Moyer, a couple extra shoves. Now he says hi to Tyler Biles as they continue their conversation off on their way to the bench. That is the halfway mark of the second period. Just seeing the Kodiaks lead the period 2-1, and now the game 3-2 as Stotts heads to the crease. Another shot and another slow get up, it looks like, from Stotts, who looked like he was hurt down on the floor. A slow movement in front of Orleman as well. Just wondering if we were going to get a wipe down, but they allow for Conley and the quick restart. Get it to Woods. And without Anderson and Murphy, I mean, there's been a ton of play time for the 5 who are out there right now, especially the 2 righties of Aaron Woods and Cole Hanrahan. And on this hot night, we'll see how much gas they've got in the tank as we get down to the 3rd period. Kevin Hill trying to lead transition. Speaking of gas, trying to fuel it down with Shane Jackson. Now McIntosh, halfway through the shot clock, he'll send a sidearm in on Orleman, who's been absolutely dialed in tonight. Here comes transition the other way with Conley. Gets shoved towards the crease and goes sliding, leaves a big oil slick down towards the end boards. Jeremy Thompson back down in front, and that's Stotts on Orleman again. Stotts going to set up residence behind the net. As a shot comes through, and Dooley going to head down floor. Ball not going to get there, however, as Bo Columbus jogs it just across mid-floor, and we'll slow it down, wait for the offense. Couple times they'll change up 1 or 2 on the left side of this offense with Hendricks. But, I mean, otherwise it's the same 5 pretty much every single time. That shot bounces off Jamison. Whereas there's a couple different offensive looks that the Chiefs have been running out there. Kodiaks running a man short tonight, and then we assume that Aaron Bradshaw is done for the game, watching him limp around. Left in that first period. Carson Moyer has the ball stolen by Cree, who picks it up and shovels it up towards Tim Edwards. 2 bodies don't seem like much, but I mean, it is hot in this building, and it'll be perhaps come into play later on in the 3rd. Pass tipped by Loams. Loams going to the crease there along with, Sam LeClaire. And they want to spring 3 Kodiaks players. 3-on-1. Back for Romanchuk. His shot bounces off Fennell, who is the lone defender back. And now Fennell on his horse trying to catch up to Lyle Thompson, who comes in transition. Back across for Kyle Rubish, whose shot is handled by Orleman. Bo Columbus now back the other way. Is talking about players getting tired. They're just picking up the tempo down there with under 7 to play in the 2nd period. Coburg continue to lead 3-2. Screen set that's going to spring Woods, and Hanrahan trying to return it back for Hanrahan. He was all tied up. Jamison down floor, picked up by Stotts. In one motion, fires, and Orleman makes the save. It was bouncing dangerously close to the line, but kept the stick and the glove in position to keep this a 1-goal game. Marshall Paulus. Hendricks took off, and the pass was behind him. And now Ty Logan nearly out in transition, but it's recovered by Kodiaks. And Hunter Agus, the most recent goal scorer, slows it up, waiting for Tanner Buck. Everybody clears out for Moyer, trying that same shot that he scored from most recently. Big collision down in the corner with the ball bouncing away. Kellen LeClaire there to pick up. Finds Jeremy Thompson. Now Bomberry. Shane Jackson. Back for Bomberry. And the cutter through in the middle was McIntosh. Nifty little move to slide off his man, and then shot wide. It goes the length of the floor for the over and back. Aaron Woods will get the restart. Next shot on goal will be number 40, according to the stat sheet for the Six Nations Chiefs here tonight. That one, number 30 for Coburg. Under 5 to play here in period number 2. Jackson finding the trailer. Liam LeClaire His shot also goes wide. And, I mean, Orleman has been solid in between the pipes tonight for the Kodiaks, but there have been chances for the Chiefs that have not hit the mark either. Moyer. Lots of space for Palace, who scores. Well, how about a 2-goal lead for the ViewTech Cobourg Kodiaks? Moyer takes the defender with him to the far side, and a couple options there for Palace to shoot past the defender or had Tanner Buck on the crease. That's a great play from Moyer to put that one all together, and it results in a ball in the back of the net. 4-2 now the lead. For the ViewTech Cobourg Kodiaks on top of Six Nations. Peterborough has also extended their lead on Brooklyn. 8-2 is the score there. Another award nominee we hadn't talked about, Defensive Player of the Year, going to Riley Hutchcraft of the Brooklyn Lacrosse Club. He just re-upping with the Rochester Nighthawks. I believe it's 2 more years. Here tonight, it's the battle of the Albany Firewolves and New York Riptide. Of the 3 New York teams well represented in the nets here in the playoffs. Larson Sundown. Lyle Thompson to the far side. Stotts had it low, no shot. Riggs forced him out wide, and that one does sneak through Orleman. Had to drop down low, and Stotts has a pair despite being all kinds of snake bit through the first period and a half of this game. Defender rushing up top. I don't think that Orleman saw it until it was on top of him, and it just sneaks through the 5-hole. High defender got out of position. The slide and help was a bit late. And with 4 minutes to go, we're back to a 1-goal game. That's twice now. Six Nations have quickly responded. However, still yet to lead in this game. And I wonder how many people thought that would be the case as they were driving into Coburg tonight. Here's Tyler Hendricks. Tanner Buck. No shot for Buck. He tries that little skip shot past the screen, which has been a problem for Jamison tonight. But it just missed the mark, and Kelvin LeClaire will jog it out of harm's way. Closing in on 3 minutes to go here in the period. Can Coburg carry this lead into the locker room? Stotts dealing with a face full of stick from Dooley. Ball bounced away and still managed to come down with it. Nearly got Larson Sundown. Austin Stotts worth the price of admission. Ball going to bounce away from everybody and back across center. So again, shot clock violation or over and back. Take your pick. What it will be is possession here for Coburg. Hendricks. Quickly through Hanrahan, and now Woods. Popping up high is Moyer. He'll play it down the boards to Palace. Palace has a cutter far side, and a shot from Hanrahan. Corner was there before it wasn't, taken away by the shoulder of Jamison. Logan has Lyle Thompson off the bench. Thompson for Stotts. Hard pass back to the near side. Thompson Quick stick Shane Jackson on the crease. It bounces wide before going up and out of play. 2-minute warning. All timeouts are still in effect. Again, 2 per team. Marshall Palace got all kinds of worked over by Bradley Cree there. Ball bouncing back to Kellen LeClaire. He couldn't get rid of it as there was a fender all over him. And now Stotts racing off the bench, slides through the crease, and literally slides into the corner. Again, slow to get up, and this time Coburg are going to be well aware to it and only send 4 offenders out there, with Stotts slowly making his way towards the bench, but not off yet. Moyer spinning back. That shot hits off Cree and goes to the outside boards. Jeremy Thompson, the rebound. Stotts did make the change and is doubled over on that Six Nations sideline. Fennell powers his way through to tie the game at 4. Taking the spot normally occupied by Stotts. This is just a big man move right here. Lower the shoulder, power into your man. Take him all the way to the crease, shoot and score. Not sure what he didn't like about that play. I thought it was pretty good. 4-4, a minute 5 away from the break. Gotta assume Coburg would take it right now if you told them that was going to be the case before this game started. Down in transition, they score again, and the first lead of the game for Six Nations. Trying to see who that was cutting off the bench. I believe it's Larson Sundown. Oh, did he stay out of the crease, though? Kyle Kropman says yes. Larson Sundown, after assisting on the tying goal, gives the Chiefs their first lead of the game. 39 minutes and 10 seconds of lacrosse that they spent either tied or behind Coburg here tonight. Logan and Biles picking up assists. There are a number of players who have points. Got 2 players tied up down in the defensive zone here. Brad Cree and someone else. As action is back down this way. The official there to separate them. Stotts around his screen. Now takes the shot, and you feel, looks like he feels like he's getting heated up, and Owen down runs straight through Sundown as the timeout was being called even before Sundown picked it up, and Cree goes back to say something to Down as Cree is fired up now. Down Agus, and again, another player who was tangled up with most of that offensive set back down in the Six Nations zone. So presumably Doug Jamieson will be on the bench here for the final 15.4 of this period. There's the goal that puts Six Nations ahead 5-4. Not the 10-1 period that they had yesterday. Quite the opposite here in Coburg. The ILA, one of those buildings where when you get on a run, very, very hard to stop the Six Nations truck that starts rolling down the hill. As Coburg found out early and often yesterday. 15-3 the score in game number 1. 5-4 here with 15 seconds to go in the period. Ball will be up top with Shane Jackson. Watch for Austin Stotts on the far crease. In the middle, being worked over is Ben McIntosh. Lyle Thompson, sundown, shot from Stutz. Rebound went high. Bomberry taken down after Orleman made the save. McIntosh stoned by Orleman again, and he's been the story here down the stretch as well through the first 2 periods. That giving him, trying to do math, 43 saves through 2 periods, but it is Six Nations who lead 5-4. We're going to take ourselves a 10-minute timeout. Our thanks to View Tech and the rest of our sponsors for allowing the JVI Sports Network to present Cobourg View Tech Kodiaks Playoff Lacrosse. We'll be back in 10 minutes. We're back here in a stormy Baltimore, Ontario, Baltimore Recreation Center, the playoff home of the VTech Cobourg Kodiaks. And here's how we got to our 5-4 score. This power play goal from Shane Jackson in the first period tied things up. And then in the second, Austin Stotts, who was snake bit the entire time, finally gets on the board with his first. He would score again later on with this outside shot. Has been dealing with injury throughout this game, it looks like, as he comes and goes off the bench. Now, Eric Fennell, this is just a boss move right here with powering his way to the net. He's going to shake his head after, and I'm not entirely sure why. But a pair of goals down the stretch, 15 seconds apart, with this one from Larson Sundown in transition, have Six Nations up by a score of 5-4. By the way, they answered goals from Coburg. 41 seconds and then 32 seconds later. That's Tyler Hendricks in the first period. We go back to Stotts again as they continue to lead. This was a great goal from Hunter Agus, and you'll see how many of these goals are shots from a screen and a little bit of a skip off the floor that are fooling Doug Jamieson here tonight. This is just going to be a great play, taking two defenders to the far side. That leaves a couple options for Marshall Palace. He elects to take the shot. That at the time put Coburg up by 2, 4-2, but then 3 straight at the end of the period. Within the last 4 minutes, have the lead here for Six Nations. Coburg have not beat Six Nations since moving here from Kitchener-Waterloo. I believe that came before the 2016 season, 15 or 16, so you can do the math on what the uphill climb is for this Kodiaks team here in the third. Again, they're short bench as well. Injured player, suspended player tonight. And one of those injuries is to the top rookie of the year. I believe it's an injury to David Anderson as Fennell goes over and back. Have not heard anything officially, but missing 2 games, you would assume if he was good to go, he'd be out there. Which is meant a lot of reps for this 5 right now. It's a low shot from Hendricks. Hits off the foot of a defender and sends the bench, including John Tavares, ducking for cover. Hendricks will get a fresh 30 seconds, though, after the defensive block. Up top, the score from Tanner Buck. A goal and 6 assists in that tight Six Nations game to end the season. But Buck will tie it back with this outside shot. Another one that's partially blocked by Cree, ducking in front. And Six Nations lead for 50 seconds so far in this game. After being in all kinds of control yesterday, 24 hours ago. Stotts trying to change that, though. Brings it in, takes the shot wide. Bounces straight back into the stick of Owen Down, who's going to carry it down into attacking territory. There is all kinds of thunder and weather happening outside, but we are safe and roasting here inside the Baltimore Recreation Complex. Shot bounces off Jamieson. Never got back for Hunter Agus to get a second opportunity. Now Lyle Thompson will have it down floor. Works around a screen of Larson Sundown, passing to Shane Jackson. He'll get a pick of his own. Back for Thompson now. Into the far corner for LeClaire, trying to find Thompson. Sundown that was, cutting back. And it bounced right off his stick. Jonah Bohm has Hanrahan trailing the play. Nifty little play that Hanrahan almost scored on the crease dive to end that period. Carson Moyer will have it back far side. Flips it here. Back across for Hanrahan. Had to go high to come back down with it. Late in the shot clock, only 3 seconds. And will Hendricks have time to beat it? Yes, he did. Got filled in by LeClaire after the fact. Stotts trying to keep it away from Bo Columbus. Spins away from a double team. Stotts still with it. Thompson takes the shot, and it's off of Orleman, as so many of them have here tonight. Stotts returns it back to the far side. Cutting in is McIntosh. Back for Thompson. Fennell pops out of the pile. Screen there, pick and roll, as it's bounced from Bomberry. That one right on the edge, perhaps. Stotts has a word. Now does Fennell for Hunter Agus. Stotts and Agus continue to jaw as the ball's up in attacking territory for Coburg. Brian Coyle has sent it up towards Tim Edwards. Edwards will find Jackson quickly through Lyle Thompson. Into the corner for LeClaire. Hard shot there from Jackson. That hit a piece of the defender to slow it down and knock it wide. McIntosh back to Thompson. 5 on the shot clock. They said no over and back, but they're not going to give the shot clock reset. Just trying to figure out if that hit Orleman or a defender, but something that gives it back to Coburg here. 4:15 gone. Over the top, Moyer. Ate a big chop from Thompson on his way through. Moyer, the seized party, takes the shot, rips it off the crossbar. And up out of play, Tanner Buck will take over with a fresh 30. Buck for Hanrahan, for Woods. Hanrahan and Woods, I mean, they've been on the floor for 35 minutes tonight. Moyer racing through the front of the crease. Ran a foot through the white paint, so they go back the other way. It's Bomberry. Down is Orleman. Ball bounced up and over top of him. Coburg bench saying that Stotts ran through the crease. Not going to matter, though, as their man picks it back up. It's Bo Columbus. All tied up at 5. Hunter Agus to Moyer. Being spied by Creed. Pick coming from Romanchuk. Up top here, and stick goes flying out of the hands of Brian Coyle. It's going to be a penalty here to Coburg. Only the 4th power play of tonight's game after we had tons of penalty minutes in yesterday's contest. Hunter Agus goes off for a holding the stick penalty. Also get a water break, towel break for Doug Jamieson. Intermission in Peterborough. They're up 10-5 on Brooklyn. So it looks like they're going to take game number 1. Game 2 will be Friday in Whitby at 8 p.m. Both of these series get back going game number 3 Sunday at the ILA at 7, at the PMC also at 7. Our crew will be here Tuesday night for an 8 p.m. start. You can also head to Whitby if you want to catch game 4 of Brooklyn-Peterborough. And then game 5 of both of these series scheduled for Thursday at 8 p.m. Here's Lyle Thompson, Austin Stott. They try the same star play and end up with a different look with the man in front of the crease, and they're going to call Bomberry through the crease after the initial shot. The ball movement there didn't quite get back into the corner where Ben McIntosh was. It was Shane Jackson that scored on the first power play. Shot clocks aren't synced up, so the lead one sounds. They're going off the trail one, which is now down at 10 seconds. Hendricks from long range. Gonna reset it so there's no problems. And the Chiefs will work back in with 1:15 left in their power play. Jackson and Thompson play catch. No one down in the corner. It was Kellen LeClaire going to set a screen. Two of them come high to part the seas for Jackson. But all that did was allow Orleman to see the shot. Fennell to his man on the crease. Sundown. Jackson. Thompson. Sundown. Jackson again. No quick stick for LeClaire. He looks through to Fennell, and Sundown had gone through the crease. Battle for it between Thompson and his teammate. Here's Jackson with 5 on the clock trying to beat it. Thompson, will he get an opportunity? Fennell cutting through. Loose ball going to expire on the 30 here against Six Nations. And what a set there for the penalty killers of the Cobourg Kodiaks. 33 seconds of man advantage time now for them left to deal with. Brian Cole has lost the glove. Went flying. Rowan Kelly, ball carrier though, facing a double team over the far side, and Hans team over there on the support staff row of the Six Nation Chiefs couldn't come up with that one. 7 minutes gone here in the third period. 10 seconds left for Thompson on the power play. Doesn't need a whole lot of time to rip a shot, as Stotts will give it back to Thompson. They'll wait out the penalty time. Stotts all the way back up top for Bomberry. Those two have been playing with each other for a long time. All the way up through minor, through junior, now here at the Chiefs as well. There is a lot of hardware. On the mantles of Austin Stotts and Brendan Bomberry that they've both been a part of. Can include Doug Jamieson in that as well. At one point, 6 straight national championships. Here comes Hendricks, though. He don't care. Gets filled in after taking the shot on Jamieson right at the tail end of the shot clock. Kodiaks can't afford to lose any more offensive players, so Hendricks getting head taps there, but he's going to go take a seat on the backside of the bench. Fennell, meanwhile, back the other way for the Chiefs. Sundown, far side. Ball brought down here by Ben McIntosh. He'll give it back to Fennell. Sundown clears out the front of the net. That's where Fennell goes to take his shot, and Orleman will make the save and calls for a timeout to go get water. And it was a very tired, almost desperate call for the timeout from Steve Orleman. Brother Kevin used to play here in Coburg as well, but now it is Jackson Brown, the backup to Orleman, who was called into action last night, but a much different story. What a difference 24 hours makes. Warren Hill, you see him off to the left there of Jamieson, allowing just 3 goals last night at the ILA. And they're going to go 1A, 1A plus. Are the Six Nations Chiefs. Can't even really call either of them 1B. But that man right there has been the story tonight. 52 shots on goal, 47 saves. We've still got 11 and a half minutes to play. Big run coming here from Aaron Woods. He'll find a slow down with a double team coming up. Shoved out wide by Cole. They get it back to the front of the net, and the shot came from Tanner Buck. Wide of the mark, however. Here's Moyer facing a triple team with 10 on his shot clock. And there is not a whole lot going to be doing here The rest of the Coburg possession is most of his mates is headed off to the bench. Thompson into the far corner. Stotts wants the ball. He will get the pass here from McIntosh. Now spins back, opens the lane, lowers his shoulder, and shoveled in. That was about 5 feet wide of the net. Off the crossbar, though, from Bomberry, who bowls through his man, and all that did was open up the lane for Curtis Conley down to the crease. And the shot ran through after, and Jamison will hang on to take away the transition opportunity. Big tie up through the middle. Shane Jackson trying to take care of Ethan Riggs. Pyle breaks up just in time for a defender to get it on Stotts, who lets a two-hander go right on Kelly. Right in front of the official as well, who let it go. Right at the halfway mark of this third period. 5-5, the score. Flip pass here. Woods will take the shot. That one wide of everything and up into the screening in the roof here at the Baltimore Recreation Center, which will host Viewtech Cobourg Kodiaks playoff lacrosse for the foreseeable future, including game number 4 of this series on Tuesday. That's August the 8th at 8 p.m. If you can get here to the rink, we encourage you to do so and support Kodiaks. Get to whatever rink is closest to you. We got a lot of good lacrosse happening, including Junior B playoffs starting tonight. Six Nations in Akwesasne at the ILA, 2 games there. That's why the extra day off in this series, as the Rebels. What a series that was with St. Catharines. Here's the high shot from up top from Moyer. Of course, Burlington and Orangeville also in a battle for the Junior A championship now and in the semifinal playoffs here. Cole. Sidestepping into the corner, pass behind his back. Stotts was all tied up. It'll be Sam LeClaire that takes it out from the boards, and the glove making the save from Orleman that time as he just flung the left hand out at it. Cole. All kinds of whacks. Eventually, the Chiefs won in the 8-second count. Not going to come. And now Aaron Woods will slow it down. 10 on the shot clock, though. Can't slow it down too much. This is the first offensive set, if I'm not mistaken, for Tyler Hendricks. After he got filled in, was taking some time to adjust his helmet over on the bench. Had a conversation with both the equipment manager and the trainer while he was over there, but now Hendricks back out on the floor. Shot clock finally does reset with Woods having to run 200 feet to go pick it up. Played here for Hanrahan. He looks for Moyer in the corner, and it's broken up by Brad Cree. Cree will jog his way over center and find a trailer in Jackson. And Shane Jackson will slow it down for Eric Fennell. No Austin Stotts on this set with Thompson out of the corner. Back for Jackson on his wrong side. Took the shot. Orleman the save. Rebound into the stick of Jonah Bone. We are all tied at 5 with 7 minutes to go here in period number 3 of this second game of the semifinal series. That Six Nations lead 1-0. Sidearm bouncer from Aaron Woods. Not fooling Jamison that time. Here comes Stotts. Took one shift off and had the energy to keep going, and look out. Stotts may have sold it a little bit, but it was in the vicinity of the boards. We'll have to get another look here. Popped up fairly quickly. Bo Columbus is going to go off for a cross check for this hit right here. Coming up in the corner after Stotts lost the ball. Yeah. I can see both benches' arguments. I really can. That's a hit that, in the proximity of the boards, can do damage. But perhaps didn't do as much as Mr. 43 had indicated. It is the fourth power play of the game, however, for Six Nations, coming in 1 for 3. By the way, Coburg only with one power play so far, which they did capitalize on to open the scoring all the way back in that first period. Thompson. Stotts will work through the middle. Shane Jackson taking the shot, and there was a little pocket that opened up above the right knee of Orleman. Ball never got there, and he'll use the stick to catch this second shot from Thompson. And Orleman will throw it away right to Stotts. Sidearm off the boards. That may have been a pass intended for Jackson, as Stotts did kind of peek over to the left. Go back to that first period where Stotts on the power play was robbed on 3 consecutive breakaways. 2 posts, and Orleman slamming the door with the other. Here's Stotts again. Off ball movement. Stotts goes down. Breaking out is Conley. Conley with help. He'll pass it. Cross, and that hit off a defender. Now Conley tied up with his man, headed towards a corner. And nothing him or Hunter Agus can do about it. Ethan Riggs setting back up for the remaining 45 seconds here. Stick on his knees as he caught a big gasp of air. Watching this transition come back towards him. Shot there from Larson. Sundown handled by Orleman. Jackson will get the rebound though. And a fresh 30 seconds here for the Chiefs. Jackson, Thompson, behind the back there for LeClaire, and Orleman kept that off the line. The shot from Jackson. He was sprawling in the crease again. And looked out. Hit there. Jackson, another shot, and it's wide as Jackson gets filled in. Fennell lost it. And Hendricks back the other way. Onto the crease. A number of moves from Moyer. And Jamison there to turn it aside. Picked up by Six Nations. And, yeah, we're going to need a full Zamboni out here for all the bodies that were down on the floor as they call for the wipe down officially in the crease. But I think there's about 4 different spots where we saw players lose their footing as, again, it's been very hot and humid with severe weather warning. We heard the thunder roll through. That second intermission is there's a look at Jackson getting bowled over by Ethan Riggs. And then back the other way. This contested ball is where we get the stoppage before the officials allow them to go too much back and forth. John Tavares, of course, the legend, the NLL champion coach. John Tavares drawing up a play for his offense. Here, well, we get the wipe down. Trying to squeak something out here in the final 4:45 of regulation time. Chiefs have led for all of 50 seconds here in this game when they took a 5-4 lead. Excuse me, that's a minute and 52 seconds. Took a 5-4 lead just before the end of the period. Orleman handles that errant pass. Still showing 10-5 in Peterborough, by the way, in game number 1 of that series. As Aaron Woods slows it down. Hendricks taking top spot. Moyer cuts through. There's no pass there. Pardon me, that was Buck. As this shot comes from Moyer. Buck tangled up there, couldn't get back. Not sure that he would have controlled that loose ball anyways. Moyer thought it was going his way, and I don't know how much of that was frustration and how much of it was exhaustion as the shoulders dropped. Austin Stotts calling for a ball. It was in the stick of Lyle Thompson, though, when play got restarted. Here's Thompson again, sidearm shot, wide of Orleman, off the window. Will drop back down in the stick of Fennell. Had a peek to make sure he was good inside the over and back line. 6 seconds in the shot clock. They go in front, and the goal from Larson Sundown. Give him a pair. And as we tick down, that is a huge one to give the lead back to Six Nations. How many times have they gone east-west across the floor the entire way? One of those rare occasions where a player sneaks into the house formation and turns and fires, and it's Larson Sundown making it 6-5. So after leading for 1:52, they take it again. Eric Fennell with a 4-point night. Goal and 3 assists, and also 4 points for McIntosh. All apples on his side. 6-5. Chiefs on top of Coburg. Sundown shakes his man, and he'll get the hat trick. A massive goal for the Chiefs, who have a 2-goal lead. Talked about how tired some of these players were going to be coming down in the third period, and that's another one that's close to the crease, but Sundown has his third of the game, and then Northumberland nemesis, trying to do their best to pick up their boys with 3 minutes left to go. Clean face-off win from Bo Columbus. Goes all the way back into Coburg territory. Lyle Thompson announced as an assist on the goal. That's the first point we have for him up here in the booth, which is by no means official. But that would be a rare occurrence for sure. Every offensive possession now, real important here for Coburg. 2.5 to go. They're down by 2, and Moyer wasn't aware that Hendricks had been cleared out of the play, turned to pass back, and at the tail end of the shot clock, it rolls errant. McIntosh puts it in the corner, back for Jackson. There's the pick. It opened Fennell for a shot, but Jackson elected to take it in on Orleman himself. Orleman, a big story here tonight. Regardless of the outcome, I would argue the story here tonight. Keeping Coburg in it pretty much the entire way. Quick stick back in. Oh, somehow Jameson there to take one away from Cole Hanrahan. Orleman racing back to get into the cage. Didn't really get set. That shot goes wide, and it's going to bounce up and out of play. And Orleman's going to get the sprints in now as he heads back to the bench. Scoreboard has shut off here. So hopefully it comes back on with the correct time on. 1:27 in the third. Orleman over at his bench. He's not even taking a water break, just bent over. He's shed the gloves, the helmet, and pretty much everything else for Kevin Orleman. Save that man a spot in the ice bath and the bar. He's earned whatever comes his way tonight. 24 hours after getting pulled in a 15-3 Six Nations victory. Comes back and has now allowed just 7 goals off 61 Six Nations shot. Speaking of shots, a low one there from Aaron Woods. Rebound bouncing back out. No one's gone to the bench. This one's going to bounce down in front of Jeremy Thompson. Gets right back, and what a back check. That was all Aaron Woods. And down goes Tanner Buck. I'm sure Liam LeClaire was in the vicinity, but Orland's going to remain on the bench for this set with Aaron Woods. Well, now he heads back to the bench. Late change coming here with Hendricks. Moyer. They're keeping it on the left side and out wide. They did set up the screen shot to Jamison, but now he's going to throw it away. Nearly picked up by Hanrahan. All this on the 8 count of Six Nations, and it will be Coburg ball. We're not done yet. 38.2 to go. And timeout called by Coburg. UTEC Cobourg Kodiaks. Hoping that Brody Merrill's over on the bench for a 2-pointer here, but cannot be overstated what Orleman has done here tonight. Matchup that very rarely is this close. Of course, we did tell you in Coburg at the end of the season, July 30th, it was a 2-goal game, 13-11 that night. 7-5 here this evening, despite everything that Six Nations have been able to throw at this Coburg net. Orleman rebounds from one night ago, and it will be a 6-man set coming out for this offensive attack. Curtis Romanchuk had a goal last night. The extra offensive player, Carson Moyer. That'll be started up top with Tanner Buck. Over here on the left side, Aaron Woods, right side. Rowan Kelly and Hanrahan. Shot comes in, digging for the loose ball is Jamison. Had a quick peek down floor. Likes to take the short and easy pass, and they're going to couple bounces down towards the net. It does bounce wide, but out and towards here, Liam LeClaire. And the call from the bench was to use it, as the Six Nation Chiefs would rather go up 2-0 here in their semifinal series, with Game 3 headed back to the ILA in a couple days' time. It'll be Sunday at 7 p.m. That's when both of these series get going once again. But my, oh my, Stephen Orleman, have yourself an evening, even if it is in a losing effort. Chiefs take game number 2, 7-5. One more thanks to our sponsors, including ViewTech and the Cobourg Kodiaks. Our director tonight has been Chris Main. Our producer, Gary Morrison. On behalf of them, the entire Cobourg Kodiaks and the JVI Sports Network, I'm Matthew Carrick. Hope to talk to you again in game number 4 when our crew returns to Cobourg on Tuesday, August the 8th, at 8 p.m. start. Six Nations win 7-5, and they lead the series 2-0.